Am I the asshole for not wanting to help my classmate after she outed my husband? My husband, Adam, is transgender and takes testosterone. He orders it online to arrive at a pharmacy. I decided to go back to school and get my degree, I'm 28 female, last year, and there's a pharmacy on campus, so we agreed that he'd get his meds shipped there and I'd pick it up for him from now on. Early this year, January, February sort of time, I picked up Adam's gel. My classmate, Jess, saw me leave with a medication bag, and asked if I was okay, and I said it was for Adam. She then asked if he was okay, and I said he was. She asked me what I'd gotten him. I found this to be more than a little invasive, so I said it was private. After a few seconds she asked why I was getting him testosterone, which she'd managed to read off the label on the bag. Edit, to be clear, she doesn't work there, she saw me leaving then started walking with me to class. I couldn't think of an excuse so I just told her the truth. My husband is trans, he's trying to be discreet about it, please don't tell anyone. She agreed and off she went. Within a few hours, everyone knew and I was on the receiving end of questions from several classmates about how my husband and I have sex and various other disgusting advances. They all said Jess had told them. At the end of the day Adam picked me up and people were ogling us, and he knew that they knew before I even said anything and he was crushed. About 8 months later, present day, Jess then caught the illness I don't know if I'm allowed to name. She's missed basically the whole first month of classes, and will probably miss future ones, too. I make recordings of the lectures that I am willing to share with anyone who asks. She wants my recordings. She asked me for the recordings privately 6 separate times in the span of 3 days, and the first 5 times I said I'd let her know. The 6th was the final straw for me and I told her to piss off. Last night she posted in the class chat saying, "Does anyone have recordings?" Op told me to piss off when I asked for hers. There were a few more exchanges and the conclusion is that I have the only recordings and I'm being a bitch for not sharing with Jess. I've muted the chat. My POV is that after she outed Adam, I don't want to help her at all. Everyone else's POV is that she needs my help, she's in extremely shitty circumstances, and this would be the right thing to do, plus her outing him had no repercussions beyond people in my class knowing, while me not helping her could lead to her failing the next round of assignments. Am I the asshole for not helping her?
Not the asshole. The only problem I see here is you're still on speaking terms with someone who violated you and your husband's privacy. Edit, much thanks for awards.
Everyone sucks here but your husband. She's the biggest asshole of all but you outed your husband to her rather than stick to telling her to mind her own business. You're absolutely right to refuse to help her but I hope you've made amends to him in the meantime, for breaking his trust and starting this mess in the first place.
Christ on a cracker, you are not the asshole. Who outs people in 2020? Who asks personal questions about their classmates' sex life? But if you feel like it would help you, feel free to tell her exactly why you don't want to help her and give her the advice that if she wants to continue in this world, it's better to be kind than nosy. I'm so sorry you and your husband are dealing with that. It's already hard enough for people to feel comfortable being themselves and he doesn't deserve that and neither do you.
Why is nobody talking about how Op outed her husband instead of straight up saying, his medical history is none of your business? I know some people won't stop asking questions but there was another way to handle it. Jess is the bigger asshole of course. But still.
You are the one who outed your husband. This classmate also blabbed to everyone so she's an asshole. You don't have to share shit with her after that. But don't be mistaken about whose fault it really is that everyone found out. You told her.
I want to say not the asshole, don't burn bridges you may need later. Though, I understand the POV that no repercussions came from her outing him, versus she will fail. Honestly, her professor should be helping her. If they bug more just say talk to the professor.
Everyone sucks here. I don't understand why you even told her about your husband being trans. You should have told her to mind her own business and end the conversation. She is a massive asshole for outing your husband but well you gave her the info. And no, you don't have to help her if you don't want to.
I understand slipping up and telling her because you were flustered that she was asking so many questions, but your judgment was poor in the first place. You outed your husband, and you outed him to someone who had just demonstrated to you that she was nosy and invasive and not willing to uphold social norms around privacy. The fact that she went on to out your husband to your classmates is shitty. You are not required to give her your recordings, and not giving her the recordings does not make you an asshole. However, except for your poor husband.
Everyone sucks here, sorry, but you outed him too. She should have kept her mouth shut, but you're the one who gave her that private information in the first place. That being said, never help her again because she outed him to everybody else. She honestly has some balls to even ask for help after that.
Jess for the obvious reasons, but you for telling her in the first place and breaking the trust you had with Adam. You said you couldn't come up with anything to say when she asked what you had. Well, why not say it's none of your business and leave it at that? You cave at someone simply asking twice? I'm surprised the real issue here isn't with Adam. Hey, everyone sucks here besides your husband. You still outed him.
Not the asshole. You're not obligated to help anyone at any time, especially after they are extremely invasive about your personal life and go out of their way to spread information that is none of their business, having lied to your face about how they will keep it to themselves. I don't understand why people who wrong you and those you care about feel entitled to favors. Next time just say your husband has low testosterone. Cisgender men suffer from it too. Not the asshole. TBH, the only way I'd share the recordings is if she agreed to sit down for an entire lecture on what she did wrong. How asking about the medications in the first place was rude and invasive. That continuing to ask questions even after you shot one down as private was rude and invasive. That you made her promise not to tell and she blatantly lied to your face and betrayed your trust by spreading private information that could have endangered your husband's life and subjected you both to a lot of gross and weird personal questions and scrutiny that nobody was entitled to, and how you expect a sincere apology from her and an explanation back that shows she understands what she did wrong before you'll agree to help her. You outed Adam though. You are the asshole. You could have easily said his medical concerns are none of your business and I do not need to tell you anything, but instead you told her that he was trans. This is on you.
Not the asshole. As a trans man, you too handled that better than I would have, because I would have not only got her kicked out for disclosing personal information with obtained permission, but I would have seen to it personally that she would never have a career in pharmaceuticals. I do not say this lightly when I say I would have kicked off big time.
Everyone sucks here. You were under no obligation to tell her. You outed your husband first. I agree that you are under no obligation to share your notes or recordings with her. I hope you told your partner the part how you told her and don't spun some lies to cover up your mess up.
Everyone sucks here. She shouldn't have spread the word, but it was you who outed him, not her. No is a complete sentence and your response to drawing a blank shouldn't be to out people without their consent.
I almost stopped reading after you said you had no excuse and then told them everything. You didn't need an excuse. It was none of their business. You should have said as much. You outed him to the wrong person who then outed him further. You fucked up. Everyone sucks here minus hubby.
You outed your husband by answering the question. She sucks for being invasive. You're being petty for not giving her the recordings. The recordings are a separate issue from her outing your husband, which was actually your fault in the first place. Just give her the recordings. You don't have to be friends with her, and by not giving her the recordings you're going to lose favor in your class when you could just be the bigger person. Don't be petty, it's stupid.
She shouldn't have gone against her word, and you should have explained the reason you wouldn't give her the recordings instead of telling her to fuck off. At the end of the day, while I'm not saying I would have had the strength to do the same, you're only hurting yourself and you've ruined a networking opportunity. Don't burn bridges, even if they are an asshole.
NTA, she sounds like an absolute see you next Tuesday. Obviously feels no remorse, hence the "op told me to piss off" line on SC. It's karma that she's ill, I'm afraid.
You for telling her all about what your husband is taking medication for. You could have shut that conversation down. You didn't need to tell her. You betrayed his trust. She sucks for sharing that information. You should have confronted her when she shared that information with everyone. Then, 5 times she asked you for recordings, you didn't say no, you said, "I'll let you know." Then the 6th time, you told her to piss off, which for her came out of left field because 1. You didn't say anything when she shared private information, so as far as she's aware, things are fine too. You strung her along with "I'll let you know."
Not the asshole. You don't owe her anything after she pried into your personal life and disrespected your trust. It's shitty she's sick and missing school, but it's on her to have a game plan for that and not rely on you after she's missed so much.
Mayor. You asked her not to tell. She told. She asks you for recordings. You tell her to kick rocks. Feels fair to me. Not the asshole. If she needs them so much, surely the tutor has notes and she can do her own research. Not the asshole. What goes around, comes around. She shouldn't have been the asshole in the first place.
Everyone sucks here. You don't have to share your resources, but you are an asshole for outing your husband in the first place. Jess is also an asshole. The only victim here is your husband.
Everyone sucks here. She's awful for outing him, but you also outed him. I don't know if anyone else has said this, but for future reference, cisgender males can end up taking testosterone if their hormones are wonky. Everyone sucks here but your husband. She's the asshole for outing him to everyone else for being trans. You're the asshole for outing him to her, and the pharmacy's the asshole for putting what the drug is on the label on the bag. Why is that a thing over there? I understand you felt pressured to answer when Jess fired those questions at you, but you shouldn't have outed your husband to Jess. You should have just told her to mind her business and that you're not telling her what the medicine is for. Jess is a Mayor A for being such a nosy bitch and outing your husband, and your classmates are assholes for asking invasive questions about your sex life and such, but you are also a bit of an asshole for outing Adam. It was a mistake and it can happen, but be more careful next time.
Not the asshole. This is one of those situations where people are accusing you of not helping but also doing nothing to help her. She could have just not been a massive ass about it and at least asked another classmate. They would ask you for recordings or make them themselves. You're clearly not the only person that could help. Don't feel bad about it.
Not the asshole. Outing a trans person absolutely can have a huge impact on their life. Not only could your husband have any number of anxiety problems or other things to deal with from growing up trans, which would make everyone knowing really stressful to say the least, but someone in your class could be secretly transphobic and now potentially violent towards him.
Not the asshole. She could email the professors and ask for them to be recorded.
Not the asshole. At its most basic, it comes down, in my opinion, a classmate made you a promise and she intentionally and immediately broke it. Regardless of what it entailed. Now she wants a favor you are under no obligation to provide. If, for example, you were withholding notes she needed for a group project you were both assigned to, that would be different. But that's not the case. Rest easy.
You outed Adam to her. You could have said, "That's none of your business," or "That's private," and she would have not been able to out him. At worst, she would have only been able to gossip about seeing that he takes supplemental testosterone, which could have been for any number of things. She sucks for spreading the info you gave her around. Definitely an asshole move. But you are the one who outed Adam. I've had so many conversations with my partner about what to say if someone pries, and my brother-in-law was also very clear with everyone he was out to that under no circumstances is he okay with being outed to anyone else.
Not the asshole. Holy shit. Shush is really ballsy to be upset when she crushed your husband by outing him and destroyed your trust by outing him as well. Your friend is terrible for what she did. She should have thought about the potential consequences of her actions before being an ass.
Everyone sucks here. She's clearly awful and doesn't deserve help, but you are the one that outed your husband. Cis men take testosterone all the time. I'm confused on why you told her the truth. That was your husband's story to tell, not yours.
She shouldn't have outed him. You should have told her no the first time she asked if you didn't have any intention of sharing the recordings with her. Why would you tell her you'd let her know if the real answer was no?
Mostly your classmate, but you a little bit since you were the one who let it slip in the first place. You should have told her to mind her own business when she asked what the testosterone was for. You don't have to have an excuse. She was invasive for asking you why he was taking testosterone, but you didn't have to out him as trans. You could have said he was having hormonal issues and needed the testosterone, technically not a lie.
Didn't Op also out Adam? She could have made an excuse about the testosterone because many cis people need it to. Wasn't your place to tell Jess Op. So I am going with
NTA. She outed your husband. Why would you help her?
Not the asshole. You're not the professor. You help people because you want to, not because you have to, and you have zero obligation to help anyone, especially someone who did what she did.
Not the asshole. Next time say your husband has a severe testosterone deficiency and as long as he takes his meds he's fine. I'm FTM myself and my doctor changed my diagnosis to a testosterone deficiency in cis men instead of transsexualism as the diagnosis simply so insurance can cover it. It's technically not a lie either. Also, by you telling her he's trans literally risked his life. If you're in America, we don't have medical rights RN. I wouldn't blame you if I were him, or you, but talk to your husband and ask how he would like you to get out of these situations next time.
Her outing him had no repercussions. Your classmates now act like they deserve to know intimate details of your sex life, personal life. Your classmates are all bigots, as far as I'm concerned, and after the outing debacle I wouldn't help any of them. Edit. Not the asshole, by the way.
Info. Does she know this is the reason you don't want to help her?
You're not the asshole for not wanting to help her, but OMG, you outed your husband, not her. You don't need to think of an excuse when someone asks you invasive questions, just tell them to fuck off and walk away.
Jess is an asshole but so are you for outing your husband. I'm not sure why you trusted a superficial acquaintance with this secret.
Everyone sucks here except the husband. You were the out to out him to her. You could have not said anything more and she just assumes he has low T. You then were petty by not giving recordings which requires little effort if you already have them. Hell, you could have even said you didn't record, which I don't know if you do or not, instead of telling her to piss off. She is nosy and pretty dumb for telling people.
Not the asshole. The only response I would give to any comments or inquiries is, Jess is well aware that this is between the two of us. Thank you for respecting my privacy. Repeat as needed. Jess may be bringing on a smear campaign. If you just say that and no more, others may start to realize how much Jess's actions mattered.